I wasn't so sure about custody at first, but once I kind of stuck with it for about 20 minutes, it really got going, and in the end, I actually really loved this film. This was released in 2016, directed by James Lapine, and starring, among others, Viola Davis, Hayden Panettiere, and Catalina Sandino Moreno. And I apologise if I mispronounced any of those. And the description from IMDb is not actually what I thought it was about. So this says, the lives of 3 women are unexpectedly changed when they cross paths at a New York family court. I kind of felt like that would be about 3 women who are going through custody battles, but it's not. One woman has her children removed from her care for quite a very small reason, but obviously the courts have to be careful when you're looking at the care of a child, but it's not like a massive, she's not like beating them up every day or anything. And that's Sara Diaz, and in the film she has to try and fight to get her children back, and it's all about whether or not she will go back to them. But the film also looks at the lives of Ali Fisher, who is her lawyer. She's a very young lawyer, basically fresh out of school. I think she's 25. They don't get along straight away, so there's tension there. And it's also about the judge, Martha Schulman, played by Viola Davis, who is amazing. We also have Ellen Burstyn in this, who plays Ali's grandmother, and she's fantastic because it's Ellen Burstyn, and of course she is. I love this film. And as I said, it was a very slow start, so I really wasn't sure how I'd get on with this. But once we get into the courtroom scenes, it's great. I kind of worried about finding out too much about the personal lives of the judge and the lawyer, because I thought I'd rather spend more time in the courtroom and in the legal aspect, but actually I'm glad that we got to find out more about them, because it just gave it more of a dimension, made their relationships with Sara or with the case or with other cases that are being discussed much more poignant. There were a few scenes that I thought were not the most important in the world and it could have been cut, but the pacing was great. Apart from, as I said, maybe the first 15-20 minutes were just, I wasn't really sure of the tone of the film or how it was going to progress, but after that the pacing was amazing. It was very fast paced. I think there were I'd say there was maybe 1 too many surprises, because every time there was a court date, something else was mentioned that threw a spanner in the works, and then something else, and I feel like there was maybe 1 too many, but for the most part I think it was very good. Viola Davis is amazing. I absolutely love the character of Martha. She's definitely one of the reasons why I loved this, and everything about this is great. It's got 6.5 out of 10 on IMDb, which is a pretty decent rating. Very well cast, great development, narrative execution is really brilliant. There's some nice character development, and I can't say too much about one of the characters, but somebody who is quite prominent comes into it nearer the end, and I thought that the character there in the Reformation was surprisingly pleasant. So I thoroughly enjoyed that. I thoroughly recommend this film. It's brilliant. There's nothing about it that I didn't like after the first 20 minutes. If you're into courtroom dramas, films about custody battles, absolutely. Custody is pretty great.